say that the sound of a good treble booster or rangemaster is one of the best classic rock guitar sounds ever. However, when it comes to actually using a treble booster and having one on a pedal board full time, I've been unable to commit to that. Treble boosters by nature are quite a picky pedal. They often have some old school transistors in there, whether they're silicon or germanium, so you have to treat them like a fuzz pedal, but also they are really picky into what comes after them as well. Putting a treble booster into, I don't know, like a Fender Twin, set super clean, is not going to be a good sound. And for me, someone who likes to play through a lot of different amps, I've been unable to commit to one on a pedal board just because I want a pedal board to work into pretty much any amp that I plug into. And I think all my problems have been solved, and of course it's going to be by NRG Effects. Neil Grimes at NRG. He's come out with the Poker, similar to the Mauler that I checked out a few months ago. This is in his Monochrome series of pedals. Before we get into things, if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Really helps out. The lowdown with the Poker is that it is essentially a classic style silicon, I believe, Rangemaster treble booster that can actually overdrive itself, negating the need to put it into the front end of an already cranked amplifier. This is what I've been looking for so long. We're going to start with the controls how Neil says are the closest to a classic treble booster. Straight away that the sound that this pedal gets is just awesome. Treble boosters are quite a misunderstood pedal because it has treble in the name, and while yes, I suppose they are quite a pokey sounding pedal in the high end, for me it's all about that mid-range, pushing that mid-range into a quacky, punching, cutting through a mix space. It's such a good sound. One thing that Neil does across the range of the pedals is give his controls slightly different names than would be typically expected. I'm not usually a fan of this. I like, tone to be tone, gain to be gain on a pedal, but it seems to work with NRG because they do sort of make sense in a more almost nursery rhyme way. Loud is your volume, of course. Stab is going to be your sort of top end frequency, so the stabbing frequencies. And then poke is your sort of gain control. Cranking it up, you get the most out of the silicon transistors inside this pedal. I do, however, like to have the knob itself turned maybe just below 12 o'clock because the poke foot switch maxes out that control. So wherever you are, you can always have access to maximum gain. the two switches either side of that poke knob, we have bulk, which is, as the name might suggest, sort of a fattening switch, a bottom end switch. The horn switch really changes the way the pedal behaves. In the middle position, the pedal is like a boost pedal. In the up position, it sounds a bit more overdrivey. And in the down position, it is a little more distortion-y. I wouldn't say 3 different levels of gain. It just softens up under the fingers and a more sludgy sound overall. Let's get some more tones going into an overdrive pedal. This is another way I like to use a treble booster, is going into an overdrive pedal and then into the amp, just to simulate the amp gaining up a bit more. We're going to use the Greer Amps Lightspeed for this. NRG hasn't made a pedal that I've not loved, and now he's come out with the poker and it just rocks. The build quality is about as good as it gets from anyone, anywhere. Incredible attention to detail. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, I suppose. All this time we've been hearing it into the copper on Edge of Breakup. Let's hear it into the Duchess, which is a clean, pedalable platform amp, and I know that that amp usually hates treble boosters. So I think it does a good job. I do think I still prefer it into the copper just because you get the more classic sound, but absolutely this pedal works into any clean amplifier for my money. Thanks guys for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe check out some more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.